Considering the topic I'm discussing in this video, I had to wear the appropriate shirt. This is a topic that I'm sure is going to piss off a lot of ignorant people, specifically ignorant white people who don't understand the importance of this statement. When this statement was created, it was created for a singular purpose. It was created to bring awareness to the amount of black people that were being systematically murdered, specifically by white police officers. Ever since this statement was first created, there's been a lot of angry white people who have wondered, hey, what about us? This statement is not about us. Our lives are already valued. But Miranda, what about white people that are killed by cops? Those cops get arrested and tried and sent to prison. Please, do me a favor. Go on Google, look up the amount of black people that have been killed by white police officers in the last year, hell, the last week alone, and then tell me how many of them got convicted. That's what I thought. All lives matter is a bullshit phrase that needs to die. It needs to be eradicated completely. Because this isn't about all lives. Of course, all lives matter. My life matters, her life matters, his, theirs, everybody's life matters. But this statement right here is not about everybody. It's not about us. Let me say that again. It's not about us. I have been stopped by the cops a grand total of 10 times in my life. When a cop stops me on the road, I don't have to fear for my life. You know why? That's why. Because I'm white. Not only am I white, I don't look Latina. Sí, soy Latina. I was born with Cuban parents, Cuban grandparents, Cuban cousins. I grew up in a Latino household, but I gained my mother's white skin. And let me tell you something, it has made my life a whole fuck ton easier. I didn't realize this until I became older. When I was younger, I'm not gonna lie, I was ignorant. I made statements that when I look back at them now, I feel regret and embarrassment. The statement Black Lives Matter is important because today, yesterday, and even in the future, black lives are not as valued as mine. I will survive every single police encounter that I ever have in my life compared to my black neighbor. And that's the truth. That's the bottom line. Being white saves my life. My views on this matter have gotten me a lot of flack, really. People have called me Wendy White Guilt, betrayer. I've even had white people call me racist because I diss on my fellow white people. Listen, the only thing I have to worry about if a black person calls me a cracker is my feelings getting hurt. A black person being called the N-word has hundreds of years of violence and vitriol and pain behind it. I don't give a shit if a black person calls me a cracker. Oh my God, what a detriment to be reminded that my ancestors owned slaves. But to call a black person the N-word reminds them that their ancestors were slaves. I don't know about you, but that seems a lot fucking worse. I'm just saying, you gotta keep it real, fellow white people. I'm very aware that I myself am speaking from a position of privilege. I've talked about this in length on both Tumblr and Twitter. Specifically Twitter, because that's where I found out all about Ferguson and all the subsequent events that have happened after it. If it wasn't for social media, none of us would have ever known what was really going on in Ferguson and everything else that has happened afterwards. I have to constantly remind myself that I am not immune to racism and racist thoughts and racist microaggressions. I have to constantly keep myself vigilant that certain words do not escape my mouth, that certain thoughts do not enter my mind. It is a constant struggle, and it is painful and self-reflective to teach myself not to be racist. Every white person has to do this. Not because I'm calling every single white person blatantly racist, but we are all capable of being racist without even realizing it. Even those little thoughts that you don't think are that much of a big deal, guess what? They may be problematic and may require your self-reflection to figure out what exactly is wrong with them. This is a never-ending battle. And it has to start with us, with each and every single one of us. I'm making this video not to get kudo points from the black community. Black people don't owe me a goddamn thing. I'm saying this for my fellow white people who just don't get it. I'm saying this to educate. And another word for allies. I do not call myself an ally. Do you know when I become an ally? When a black person says I am. That's the only time. Every other time, I'm just a white person trying to educate other white people. To all of my fellow white people out there who decide they want to call themselves allies, whenever there's a discussion going on between black people about racial or social issues, the best thing you can do is shut your mouth and listen and learn. Not everyone has to hear your opinion all the time. And I know that seems a bit contradictory, but as I said before, this isn't for the black community. This is for white people. You're welcome to disagree with what I've said in this video, but you're still wrong. Black lives matter. That's the bottom line. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you want to see more of my rants and discussions and whatever else I might decide to upload on this channel, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions, put them down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah! See ya. Consider this